My name is Elena Hartwell. I'm 27 years old, and I didn't realize how fragile my relationship really was until I said one sentence at my boyfriend's birthday dinner and watched his best friend go completely silent for the first time in 2 years. Not angry, not sarcastic, silent. The kind of silence that happens when a truth finally outruns the story someone's been telling themselves. At the time, I thought my relationship with Ryan Cole, 26, was solid. We'd been together for 2 years, long enough for routines to form without effort. We met through a mutual hobby group, clicked immediately, and moved in together after a year. Nothing rushed, nothing dramatic. The kind of love people describe as easy when they don't know how much work it actually takes to keep things balanced. Ryan works in finance. He's disciplined, driven, the type of man who plans 3 steps ahead without making you feel like you're falling behind. I'm a graphic designer at a mid-size agency. Creative, structured, stable. I love my job. I love what I do. Or at least I did. Because 6 months into our relationship, Maya Reynolds stopped treating me like I belonged. Maya is Ryan's best friend. 28. They've known each other since college. They were roommates sophomore year. Stayed close after graduation. The kind of friendship people romanticize because it's survived distance, breakups, and time. When Ryan and I first started dating, she was fine, polite, normal, friendly in that careful way people are when they're deciding whether you're temporary or permanent. Then something shifted. At first, it was small, almost unnoticeable unless you were paying attention. "Oh, you're still doing the freelance thing?" she said once, smiling, after I'd just explained my promotion. "That's cute," she laughed when I talked about a project I was proud of. Ryan brushed it off every time. "She's just sarcastic," he said. "Don't take it personally." I tried not to, but it kept happening. Maya started forgetting to invite me to group hangouts. She'd show up at our apartment unannounced, look genuinely surprised to see me there, like I was a scheduling error. She talked a lot about Ryan's past, the women he used to date, how ambitious they were, how driven, how on his level. I told myself I was being sensitive, until his birthday dinner. It was supposed to be small, intimate, just family, Maya, and a few college friends. A nice restaurant, warm lighting, the kind of place that makes you feel like nothing bad is allowed to happen there. We were mid-conversation when Maya leaned back in her chair and said, loud enough for the table, "So, Elena, when are you finally going to get a real career?" I blinked. "I have a career," I said calmly. "I'm a senior designer at—" "Yeah, but like," she interrupted, waving her hand, "when are you going to do something that actually matters? Ryan makes 6 figures. That's a real career." Ryan touched my arm. "Hey," he said, "that's not cool." She waved him off. "I'm just saying," she continued, "you deserve someone on your level, someone who can actually provide." The table went quiet. His mother looked uncomfortable. His sister stared at her plate. I felt something settle in my chest, not anger. Clarity. "That's your opinion," I said evenly. Maya smiled, leaned back. "It's not an opinion," she said. "It's a fact. You're not good enough for him. He deserves better." And that's when I said it. "Then he can date you." She laughed until I added, "Oh, wait, he already turned you down. Twice." Her face drained of color. Ryan looked at her. Slowly. "You did ask me out," he said. "Once sophomore year, once after graduation." Every head at the table turned. Maya opened her mouth. Nothing came out. And in that moment, everyone realized the same thing. This was never about protecting him. It was about punishing me. The rest of the dinner limped along like a performance everyone was contractually obligated to finish. Maya left early. She didn't slam anything, didn't cry, didn't cause a scene. She stood up, mumbled something about not feeling well, grabbed her jacket, and walked out with her chin high, like someone who still believed she was the injured party. That somehow made it worse. Ryan's parents were overly kind to me afterward. Too kind. The kind of politeness people use when they're trying to correct for something that should never have happened in the first place. His sister squeezed my hand under the table and whispered, "I'm sorry," even though none of it was her fault. Ryan barely touched his food. On the drive home, the silence felt heavier than the confrontation. "I'm sorry," he finally said as we unlocked the apartment door. "I swear, I didn't know she was like that." I nodded because I believed him, mostly. But belief doesn't erase damage. "I thought she was just being protective," he continued, running a hand through his hair. "I should have shut it down sooner." I sat on the couch instead of answering. My body needed stillness before my mouth could say something I couldn't take back. "Did you know," I asked carefully, "that she's been talking about me to other people?" He froze. "What do you mean?" "Your friends. Has she been saying things about me when I'm not around? He sat down slowly, like the weight of the question was finally registering. She's made comments, he admitted, that you were holding me back, that I could do better. My chest tightened. And you didn't tell me. I thought she'd get over it, he said, voice cracking. I thought once she saw how happy we were, she'd stop. I nodded again, slower this time. Okay, I said, I need time. That night, I barely slept. The next morning, Ryan showed me a text message from Maya. Long, emotional, carefully written. She said she'd come on too strong, that she was just trying to protect him, that she valued their friendship too much to let someone come between them. Someone, not me. She didn't apologize to me. She didn't even acknowledge me. She apologized to you, I said quietly. About me, like I'm not even a person in this situation. Ryan stared at the screen for a long moment. Then he blocked her. That's when things escalated. Within days, his college friends started reaching out, awkwardly at first, then urgently. Screenshots followed. Group chats I'd never been part of. Messages dating back months. Maya calling me controlling because I didn't want to spend time with someone who openly despised me. Saying I was isolating Ryan because, checks notes, we spent time together like a normal couple. She told people I was financially dependent on him. We split everything 50-50. Ryan called me from work crying. I can't believe I let her do this, he said. She's been trashing you for months. Did anyone push back? I asked. My sister did, he said, a few times, but Maya always framed it like concern. And everyone knows we've been close forever. Concern. That word again. By the time Ryan got home, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't jealousy anymore. This was a campaign. And Maya wasn't done. Blocking Maya should have ended it. That's what normal people do. Cut contact, lick their wounds, move on with their lives. That's what I expected. A clean break, awkward silence, maybe a few mutual friends drifting away. Instead, she started showing up. At first, it was subtle enough to doubt myself. The coffee shop Ryan and I went to every Sunday morning. There she was, sitting by the window, laptop open, eyes flicking up the second we walked in. She smiled at him. Didn't look at me at all. The farmer's market the following weekend. Same thing. She ran into him near the fruit stands, laughed too loudly, stepped closer than necessary. Then our apartment building. She didn't even pretend it was an accident that time. Ryan and I were walking in, arms full of groceries, when she came out of the elevator like she'd been waiting. We need to talk, she said, voice low. Urgent, ignoring me completely. No, Ryan said immediately. We don't. You're really going to throw away 8 years of friendship over her? Maya snapped, finally glancing in my direction like I was an object in the way. Ryan stepped closer to me. I'm throwing away a friendship with someone who's been lying about my girlfriend for months, he said. That's not friendship. Something in Maya's expression cracked. She looked at me then, really looked at me. The hatred was naked. This is your fault, she said. I laughed. I couldn't help it. No, I said, you did this to yourself. Her jaw tightened. She stepped closer. You think you've won? She hissed. You think this is over? I felt Ryan tense beside me. Maya, he said sharply, stop. Or what? She shot back. Or I'll get a restraining order, he said. I'm serious. This is harassment. She stared at him like she didn't recognize him anymore. Then she walked away. But the look she gave me over her shoulder told me everything I needed to know. This wasn't about love. This was about control. 2 days later, Ryan got a call from his supervisor. An anonymous email had been sent to HR claiming he was having an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate, that he was misusing company resources. None of it was true. HR still had to investigate. He sat through interviews, provided proof, explained himself like someone who'd done something wrong when he hadn't. By the time he got home, he looked wrecked. Then the messages started coming to me. Fake social media profiles, no photos, generic names. Your boyfriend is cheating on you. He's using you. He talks about how boring you are. We blocked them. More appeared. That's when Ryan's sister told us the truth. She tried to kiss him, she said quietly over dinner. Last year, before you two went public. Ryan went pale. I felt the last pieces click into place. The timing, the bitterness, the obsession dressed up as concern. What do we do? He asked. I took a breath. We document everything. And for the first time, Maya's spiral stopped being emotional and started becoming criminal. Documentation changed everything. Once we stopped asking why and started asking how, the chaos began to arrange itself into a pattern. Dates, times, screenshots, IP overlaps, locations, repetition. Maya wasn't improvising. She was escalating. The first wave had been emotional, social, psychological. The second wave went straight for our livelihoods. 3 days after Ryan's HR ordeal finally closed, no findings, matter resolved, we're sorry for the inconvenience. I got an email from my creative director asking me to step into a conference room. HR was there. So was legal. Someone had sent an anonymous tip claiming I was using company equipment for personal freelance work and billing clients off the books during work hours. They attached screenshots. Cropped. Contextless. Familiar. I felt a strange calm settle over me as they spoke. Not because it wasn't serious, it was, but because I'd already accepted the truth. This wasn't about ruining our relationship anymore. Maya wanted to erase us. I can disprove all of this, I said evenly. And I did. Time logs, project management software, client invoices. My calendar synced across 3 platforms. Every accusation fell apart within minutes. My boss leaned back afterward and sighed. "Do you have a stalker?" he asked. "Something like that," I said. He nodded. "We'll forward this to legal. This is harassment." The word landed differently when someone else said it. That night, Ryan's sister came over. She didn't sit down at first, just paced the living room, arms crossed, like she'd been holding something in for too long. "There's something I need to tell you," she said. Ryan looked at her. "What?" "She tried to kiss you," she said, "last year, at my birthday." Ryan stared. I already knew, but hearing it again, out loud, sealed it. "You were drunk," she continued. "She kept trying to get you alone. I stayed close because something felt off. When you went to the bathroom, she told me she was making her move that night." Ryan rubbed his face slowly. "And when nothing happened," she added, "she got cold. 2 weeks later, you started posting photos with Elena." The timeline snapped into place like a lock clicking shut. That's when we stopped hoping she'd burn herself out and started preparing for impact. 2 days later, a letter arrived. Official, heavy paper. A final notice for a credit card balance in Ryan's name, $4,300. A card he'd never opened. We filed a police report that night. When the detective asked if we suspected anyone, I didn't hesitate. "Maya Reynolds," I said. She had access to his personal information from when they were roommates. Social security number, birth date, everything. "Can you prove it?" he asked. "Not yet," I said, "but you're going to." Because the charges? Restaurants she'd recommended. A gym she worked out at. Stores she used to text him about. It wasn't subtle. It was arrogant. And arrogance always leaves fingerprints. The detective warned us not to confront her. We didn't listen. 2 nights after we filed the report, the intercom in our apartment buzzed just after 9 p.m. The sound cut through the room like a blade, sharp, invasive. Ryan checked the camera feed. It was Maya. She looked different, unraveled, hair pulled back too tight, eyes too bright. "I need to talk to you," her voice crackled through the speaker. "It's important." Ryan didn't open the door. "We don't want contact," he said evenly. "Please leave." "The police called me," she said quickly, "about a credit card. This is insane. I would never—" "You had his social security number," I said, stepping closer to the intercom. "You had his birth date. You know his mother's maiden name." Silence. "And somehow," I continued, "a card gets opened in his name 6 months ago, charged at places you recommended, right when he started pulling away from you." "That's a coincidence," she snapped. "Is it?" Ryan asked. "Like the anonymous emails? Like you showing up everywhere we go?" Her voice changed then, tight, desperate. "I was trying to save you," she said. "You're making a mistake. She's manipulating you." I laughed, short and sharp. "I haven't said a single word about you that wasn't true," I said. "You did this to yourself." "You turned him against me," she screamed. "No," Ryan said quietly. "You turned me against you." I leaned closer to the camera. "You're on camera right now," I said, "harassing us after we've told you to stop. The police already have footage from the last 3 times you showed up." Her breathing was loud through the speaker. "You need to leave," Ryan said, "and not come back." She left, screaming in the lobby about betrayal, about how we'd regret this. The next afternoon, the detective called. The credit card company had traced the IP address used to open the account. It led to Maya's apartment. They were pressing charges. Identity theft, fraud. When they searched her place with a warrant, they found everything. A folder on her computer labeled with Ryan's name. Photos pulled from social media, some deleted years ago. Draft emails she'd never sent. Love confessions, angry rants about me. A burner phone used to create the fake accounts. Receipts from a private investigator. She'd hired someone to dig into my life. They found nothing, because there was nothing to find. Her lawyer tried to argue it was a misunderstanding, that she was concerned, that she'd gone too far emotionally. The prosecutor didn't buy it. This wasn't concern. It was obsession. She took a plea deal. Probation, mandatory counseling, restitution, a 5-year restraining order against both of us. No jail time. At least, not yet. But the fallout was just beginning. 2 months after Ryan's birthday dinner, everything looked quiet on the surface. Too quiet. The legal process moved slowly, the way it always does. Paperwork, statements, waiting. Maya was out on probation, mandatory counseling, a 5-year restraining order that covered both of us. She was ordered to pay restitution for the fraudulent charges. No contact, no exceptions. Ryan felt relief. I felt grief. Not for her, but for what she took with her when she finally burned the bridge all the way down. Ryan lost someone he thought was family. 8 years of shared history didn't evaporate just because the ending was ugly. Some nights, he'd sit on the couch, staring at nothing, like his brain was replaying memories that no longer made sense in their new context. I keep wondering, he admitted once, how much of it was real. That doesn't mean it was all fake, I said gently. It just means it changed. We weren't untouched either. There were hard conversations, late nights, arguments we couldn't avoid anymore. Why didn't you stop her sooner? Why didn't you tell me what she was saying? Did you really not see it? Or did you just not want to? We went to couples counseling for a few weeks, not because we were breaking, but because we refused to pretend nothing had happened. Ryan was dealing with betrayal. I was dealing with delayed anger. And underneath all of it was the same quiet fear. What if this had broken us, without either of us noticing? Then Maya violated her probation. A mutual friend forwarded Ryan a screenshot. A brand new social media account. No name, no photo. Just vague posts about betrayal, fake friends, and the one that got away. Ryan didn't hesitate. He reported it. 2 days later, the probation officer called back. Probation revoked. 60 days in county jail. Ryan sat down hard when he heard the news. I didn't want this, he said quietly. I know, I replied, but you didn't cause it. That distinction mattered. After that, things began to settle. His friend group imploded. Some apologized, awkward, sincere, ashamed. Others drifted away silently, unable to face how easily they'd believed her version of the story. His sister stayed close. So did the roommate who'd confronted Maya months earlier. She apologized at least 20 times. I thought she was just overprotective, she said over drinks at our place. I didn't realize she was actively trying to destroy you. You recorded her meltdown, I reminded her. That mattered. His parents surprised me most. His father pulled me aside one afternoon and said, I owe you an apology. I knew she had feelings for him once. I thought she'd grown out of it. You handled it better than I would have. Most people punch the problem, he added. You let it expose itself. Ryan and I grew closer in the quiet aftermath. Not because the storm made us stronger, but because we chose to stay present through it. Last week, his sister nudged him and said, When you propose, don't do it at a group dinner. We both laughed. Fair. Looking back, the truth feels obvious now. Maya didn't want Ryan happy. She wanted him available. She built a fantasy where patience would earn her something rejection never promised. When that fantasy collapsed, she tried to destroy the life she couldn't control. And she did destroy something, just not what she planned. Ryan asked me once why I never lost my temper through all of it. Because, I said, if I made it about me versus her, I would have missed the real point. This was about you choosing your own life. I trusted you to do that. He cried. Good tears. Then he said something I'll never forget. You trusted me to choose you, he said. She tried to choose for me. That's the difference. Love doesn't demand control. It offers trust. 2 years later, we're still here. She's not. And honestly, that feels like the only ending this story could have had.